Words of Maximus from Gladiator, are you not entertained? What a great football game, and what a great performance by both teams. And I want to make sure I give credit, and deserved credit, to Iowa State. I thought with the way they played in the fourth quarter was amazing, and Brock Purdy was special. And their team is a team of winners and tough guys, and they found a way to come back. They made everything hard. Their defense made everything hard against our offense today, and their offense fought back and took the lead. And even after we scored that last field goal, they still had a chance to go win the football game. And but I thought today was our day, and I'm proud of our guys. And as I said to them in the locker room, I'm so proud of our players, not just because they won, though. I thought the way they played the game, I thought the composure, the class, the toughness, they never cracked, they stayed together. They looked like the class of college football. And I said that at ESPN at the end of the game. I wanted the whole country to see the men of Baylor football. And it wasn't perfect. We have a lot of things to correct. Offensively, there wasn't a lot of consistency. They blitzed us. I don't think there was a down they didn't blitz us in the game. I mean, it was constant duress. And offensively, I thought our defense played 3 of the best quarters you could expect to see them play. And then, at the end, in the fourth quarter, they found some rhythm. So we obviously have things to improve upon, things to get better at. And one of the biggest things for us is I think it's just figuring out, we're playing a lot of guys right now who we're going to play consistently and make some decisions that way. But for one day, I was really proud of the effort, and it was a great game. I hope the fans had a great time. I hope you guys had a great time seeing a really good college football game.
Pat, it looked like earlier in the game you were a little reluctant to put Mayers in to kick, but how good was it to see him come through?
Yeah, I put him out for that first field goal, and he missed it, and so the second field goal, it was into the wind. There was a pretty strong wind out there. Wendy made the game-winning field goal in. And, so I went for that 4th and 5, and we got it. And I felt good about, just taking a shot at it, because we had been open on third down. The first half, we were 1 for 7 on third down. And a lot of our issues in the first half were drops. I mean, not easy catches, but catches we have to make, and we were dropping the football. And so I went with it, and I just said, hey, I'm not going to play really that third drive in the fourth quarter, the drive before that. Normally, I would try to kick that and take the lead, and I just didn't feel good about it. And we had a good play, and unfortunately, they came free. Charlie took a sack, lost some yardage, or else maybe I would have kicked it. So put us in a tough position there. I was kind of reluctant to, just because of the wind and all that stuff. And I didn't want to keep putting the kid out there. But you know what? To his credit, he went out there and made that kick. And the guys are joking because I said this morning, we do a little walkthrough, and I said, Mayers is going to come out and kick the game-winning field goal today, and he's going to make it. So they all think I have something figured out, or I was just guessing, to be quite honest. But proud of him. And then at the end of the day, everyone's celebrating, and we kick off. And we trust our guys. Man, not a lot of people kick it deep there. We kicked it deep because we knew we had to hold a field goal. And they made the play. Purdy was running around, and we finally got one out on him. And just James Lynch could have scooped it and scored, and just fell on the ball and won the game. And so I was really proud of our composure, but proud of Mayers, who went out there and made the kick, and that's what we needed from him.
What was the atmosphere like post-game in the locker room?
Just a lot of tired but really happy guys. I think really I thought it was pretty cool the way they were on the field. I mean, they wanted to go over, and they went over and they shook hands, they prayed, but then they went over and thanked the student section, then went over to the band. And I think there's a lot of happiness and pride, and we've worked hard to get to this point. Again, they also realize that it's a tough road ahead. Every week's going to be like this. We're not the type of team that's just going to roll people right now. We have a lot of improving to do, but I think they enjoyed it. And the other part I said, and I said it to you guys, was now they knew why I was kind of happy after last week. I felt like we needed last week to prepare us for this week. We needed a close game in the fourth quarter last week so we wouldn't panic, and there was no panic on the sidelines. Like Jermichael Hasty, I thought he was going to punch me on the sidelines. He's just walking up and down saying, we're winning this game, we're winning this game, we're winning this game. And it's great to see that kind of will. There's something powerful about the will, and they found a way to get it done.
Matt, if, every day is an opportunity to learn, what have you learned about your team?
I think I learned a lot of things. I think I learned that we had the chance to be pretty good on defense. You know what I mean? And I think I learned that they enjoy the battle. I told them before the game, just remember the Vanderbilt game. In the fourth quarter, I kept saying to the guys, I said, just Vanderbilt, man. that bowl game, no one was panicked. The offense was like, hurry up, defense, and get off the field so we can go score again. Like, just go, kind of go. And I thought once they kind of got loose like that and played loose, they scored 2 touchdowns in the third quarter. Fourth quarter, we were on the run towards one, and we kind of faltered in the red zone, and I was afraid to kick it. Probably should have kicked it. And then that last one. So I think when they're loose and they're kind of just out there, playing together, they're much better. But I think the biggest thing was we were all in. Like, the guys were all into it, and I was really proud of that part of it. Even to the very end, how much it meant to them to get that win.
You talked about Charlie on that last drive.
What are you?
Sorry.
Blowouts are fun, but a game like this, what can it do for your team moving forward? Because they put it on film that they can win games like this.
Yeah, we haven't had a ton of, you go back to last year, we've had a lot of games come down to the last play of the game. And, what's funny is when you get ahead and you have a blowout, right, it's just agita. You're just sitting there in the fourth quarter like, let's not mess this up. Let's try to – there's such joy when you win in the very end, right? It's like your stomach's like this, and then all of a sudden you win the game. I mean, it's joy. It's excitement. It's energy. And but I think the biggest thing is you learn not just that we can do it, but how did we do it? And we did it by making one more play than the other team. I mean, it just really comes down to that. Like, even the first half, when we jumped up and caught the fades, when we got behind them and made the big plays, we're explosive. When we drop the ball or when we can't get a run going, we're not. And so I think as our guys realize that players win games. The biggest thing I've tried to do is make it where our players understand that they win the games. I don't win the games. The coaches don't win the games. The uniforms don't win the games. The crowd doesn't win the games. Nothing wins the games but the players. And so for our players to go win those games, to get the ball down the field, converting a third down, and we had to make. The Coach Heacock for them is such a brilliant defensive coordinator. Like, the one drive we went down the field and scored. They were bringing field blitz. The next drive, it's will free. It's just every play. It was like 90% of the game was blitz, and it was different blitzes. And that last drive, Glenn and Nixon calling the plays. They had to go to a bunch of different concepts. We catch the ball across the middle of the field now, and for Charlie to be able to immediately adapt in the middle of the game and go to some, attack the middle of the field. I was really proud. They started playing man on Mims with a guy over the top, and so other guys had to step up. So I know I'm saying a lot, but I think the biggest thing is they adapted as the game went on to a really good defense, and then defensively they got the big stop to win the game, which was really cool.
Matt, if you've got a quarterback like Charlie who's done this before with Oklahoma State, Kansas State, hits the ball with about 3:40 to go, what does that say for you because he's been in that situation and knows how to direct the team in that situation?
Yeah, I told our guys, this is what we do. We do it every Wednesday. We go out there and we do 2 minute, and we know we can do it. In many ways, the game just kind of gets simplified, right? It's not like, as a coach, you have to make hard decisions on fourth down. Like, should we punt it? Should we not punt it? It's 4th and 2. You're going to go for it on fourth down. And so I think that's really kind of sometimes where Charlie's at his best. He scrambled around some other times in the game, and we weren't really able to connect on some of those balls, but he was able to get it done there. So to me, as long as we're within scoring range in the fourth quarter, and I feel good about our quarterback. I feel like he has a chance to maybe go make some plays and make something happen.
When John Mayers, you were saying before the game, you predicted he would come out and win. Did you actually tell him that?
I told the team that this morning. We were in walkthrough. I said, Mayers is going to come out. If Mayers is out, he's going to win the game-winning field goal. And, again, I'm not saying I predicted it. I just kind of I kind of said that just as I introduced the PAT field goal team, and he went out and made it happen. And again, the message is, I don't care that you missed last week. I don't care that you missed this week. It's always about what's next. And he went out there. There was a pretty strong wind. There's a timeout. There's a lot of time to think about it. He's got everybody coming up to him saying, "You can do it. You can do it. You can do it." And I said, "Everybody get away from him." I told Jay Sedgwick, I said, Jay, pray for him, please, and prayed on it. Yeah, Jay. I said, "You're going to make the kick," and Jay prayed on him and went out there and he made the kick. And everyone's celebrating that. And I'm saying, "Hey, we got to cover the. It's not over yet." So, great end to a game, though.
Matt, Tyquan Thorne, you talked about Denzel being doubled, the way he stepped up, particularly on that last drive.
Yeah, he had the big, long ball down the middle of the field. The funny thing is we were barely over 50% in the passing game, but we had so many explosive plays. We just aren't real efficient right now. But Tyquan has, he about 2 weeks ago started practicing at a really high level, and the plays are now coming. And but you're right, he was really efficient in that last drive, making a lot of plays and getting himself open. And RJ did that all day, and Snead did that as well.
Is that one of, if not the best performances by your D-line since you've been here?
Yeah, and what was cool about it was there was a lot of young guys playing. Zuzwa was out there. Braylon Taylor was playing receiver up until the first day of training camp, and he's out there playing D-line. We're still trying to kind of, get some of those positions, replenished. And so Gabe Hall's out there as a true freshman. Cole Maxwell's out there. He went down with a pretty bad injury, it looked like, unfortunately. So, but a lot of those guys had to step up in the game, and we got a lot of pressure. We weren't always able to get there. A couple of times maybe if we would have gotten there, the game would have been not quite so easy. But they played hard. They took away the run game and turned it into a drop back pass game, and we made some plays we left out there.
Matt, you believe in signature wins?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just, to be honest with you, like, you know me well enough to know right now. Right now, my mind's already thinking about, like, Kansas State, can't have to go to Manhattan. What I believe in, again, is I believe in this was really important for our players because, like our seniors, they won there a couple years ago. It was pretty cool. I went back and watched that game, and Blake Lynch catches a post down the middle of the field. And he's out there playing Sam linebacker today. Grayland's the left tackle on kickoff return. He's out there today. Jordan Williams, what a great pick by Jordan today. We talk about winning the turnover battle. We finally won the turnover battle, and for Iowa State to be the type of team that they are, and for Coach Campbell to be the type of coach he is, and Brock, I'm really proud of our players because they needed to get this win. I mean, we've been working really hard. This is a year's worth of work to get to this game. Now I have to kind of let it go. I'm going to enjoy it for a little bit more than let it go.
Does it make it more special to win after losing the lead and then coming back to win?
I would have loved to have just won it outright, but again. Like you watch football nowadays, you watch basketball, everyone always trash talks to each other and everyone, degrades the opponent. And, we always put compete on everything that we do. And I try to tell our guys that compete doesn't mean to strive against, it means to strive with. And that what we want to do is we want to play against the best competition because great competition allows us to be great. And it was 20-0 going in the fourth quarter. Had they not fought back, we wouldn't have this great feeling right now. We wouldn't have had a chance to go, we'd have been a good win. But the fact that they fought back allowed us to be great. And so that's what was cool to me is that we had a chance to see for ourselves what we could do. Now, my job is to go in there and say, why do we let them get back in it? Why do we not score 40 points? There's a lot of things that have to improve to be a good team in this league. But, they found a way to get it done today. The odds were against us there at the end, and they found a way to make it happen.
Coach, at the end of the first half, what was some of the changes that you made that allowed, your offense to come back and score twice and, take the lead?
We didn't really make, that's a great question. We didn't make many changes like that drive at the end of the half. We just kind of caught the ball. But again, they were kind of bringing field pressure. And so that drive right after the half, we put Josh Fleeks in and we were running a bubble with him and just kind of reading the guy that they were blitzing. They were doing something a little different than they had done. And Lovett got a good drive going. We were able to get down the field and score. And then we just said, hey, we're going to take shots. Like if they're going to leave us one-on-one outside, we're going to throw it up. And so Mims won, and then the next drive, Taekwon won. And then they kind of said, all right, that's it, and started running out and staying deep over the top of us. And so that's why we had to kind of adjust to some more middle of the field stuff. We struggled a little bit inside. Maybe I have to see, maybe it was the back, maybe it was the tight end in protection because we had to keep them in. But we know John Heacock. We know he's going to come after us all day. And so I thought our coaches did a good job of adjusting to the things that they were doing.
Is there anything different you would have done in the fourth quarter? I mean, without looking at the film on top of your head?
Yeah, if I could go back, that one drive, we called like a three-step pass, thinking we were going to catch it and go for it on fourth down, and we took a sack on it. So maybe I'd have kicked it there. Maybe I'd have run it. Even the last drive when we kicked the field goal was 3rd and 2, and we ran quarterback draw with throw. If they blitzed us, we were going to throw it, and they blitzed us, and we just didn't get the ball off. So I'll probably agonize a little bit about those decisions, but he made the kick, so I don't have to think about it too much.
One more question about,
Mayers, in terms of guys never made a field goal in a college game. What about either his practice performance or his mental makeup? Had you sold on the guy in that situation?
Well, he's just such a wonderful young man. He really is. And, I said to him when he missed the first one, I said, do you think you can do this? Because, there was a great thing this week. David Cutcliffe said, you can't give parents I always think I can give my kids confidence. I can't give my kids confidence. And I said, do you think you can do this? He said, yes, I can do this. And so it was funny today. One of our goals today was to get him to make a field goal so he would make his first college field goal. Kind of, ironic. And just the football gods aligned. Like if that was 4th and inches, maybe I would have said, you know what, we're going to go for it. But it just was there, and it was the right call. And I said, you know what, trust your players. Trust your players. It's never about us as coaches. It's always about the players. And so part of it, people always say that, then you have to trust your players to make the plays. And he went out and he nailed it. And I don't know what else to say, to be quite honest with you. I mean, he found a way to get it done, and I was proud of him for that. Did you have something else, Smoke? I'm sorry.
No, I did, was there a distance, 5 yards, another 3, 4 yards back, where you,
Yeah, if the ball would have been outside the 30, I'd have probably put Rauschenberg in. You know, he's dealing with an injury, and I told him, I said, if it's outside the 30, like that drive, I started that drive, I said, tell Rauschenberg to be ready. So we really had 2 field goal kickers warming up, which you don't see very often in college football, right? But, sorry, I'm cramping up. It was a long day at the office. But you know what? It was there, and the drive before I agonized over whether I should go for it or not, and we didn't. And so I said, you know what? He's going to make. You know, I got to give him a chance to make this kick, and he made it.
But what were your thoughts about the penalties that really allowed Iowa State to move down the field and score 20 points?
Yeah, you know, the two face masks were face masks. You know, I mean, and you know, I thought the defense had to play too much in the first half. Played 41 plays. Offense just wasn't good enough, right? So that hurt our defense. I think they were tired at the end of the game. You know, we had one driving the guy in the ground. You know, I was looking for the one on Charlie when Charlie got hit. But, you know, that crew's so good because they communicate to you, right? Like, I can live, you know, they're just so good. They'll come over and say, hey, Coach, I didn't see it that way. Got it. Like, they're just the best of the best. And so, you know, we can't beat ourselves. We had a little self-destruction in the fourth quarter. But a lot of that had to do with the way Iowa State was playing as well.
Another kick block, that's become almost a trademark for you guys. What's going so well with that aspect of your specialty?
We practice it, and we talk about it. And it had been a couple games since we had done it. And that was another thing that we talked about this morning. We said we're going to block a kick, and Mayer's going to make the game-winning field goal. And those guys found a way to make it happen. And so we got big, powerful guys inside that take a lot of pride, you know. So we got after one, and they missed it, and then we blocked one. So, you know, we're playing pretty good special teams. It's not always the huge plays that you see. It's always, sometimes it's those little plays like that. So for us to block a kick, for them to miss a kick, and for us to make a kick to win the game, I mean, there's a lot of hidden things that allowed us to win this football game.
Coach, what did that comeback tell the players, and what kind of message did that send to the players about finishing your game and kind of going all the way through all 4 quarters until the last second?
Yeah, I think there's 2 lessons we can learn. A, had we been better in the fourth quarter, it wouldn't have been that close. You know, we was talking about fourth quarter shutout. We certainly didn't have one of those. We gave up 21 points. But on the flip side, man, just keep playing. You can't, you know, I use the word process. All that means is just play as hard as you can play one play at a time. And don't start like we're up by 7 and guys are kind of looking like this, like, oh no, they're coming back. Like, don't, just play the next play. And that's easy to say, hard to do. I was doing that a little bit, like, oh no, you know, and so just play the next play. And that's why Charlie, you asked me about Charlie in 2 minutes. That's why he's so good. He's like, give me the ball. You know, that's why Jermichael Hasty's so good. That's why Mims and Taekwon and Platt, you know, Platt had some plays maybe he could have made early, and then all of a sudden it's 4th down, and we come to 4th and 6, and he makes a big diving catch. So proud of a lot of our guys for stepping up and making a lot of plays.